The Touching Bases podcast. I'm your host, Chat C. Sub on YouTube. If you are here with me right now, follow on Spotify and go ahead and get all the exclusive previews on our story following Instagram. So you can check that every day before we get into all the topics. Today was game one of the ALCS. Yeah, the Mariners, my never been to a World Series Mariners, my always let me down when there's runners on base and in scoring position Mariners versus the team in another country, the Toronto Blue Jays, a powerhouse. If I'm honest with you, there's a reason why they're number one. There's a reason why that they had the record that they have is because their bats are insane. They've been consistent. They've had people that I don't want to say are no names, but I'd say outside of Toronto and before this year, Ernie Clement heard a little bit about Nathan Lucas. No idea who he was. We knew George Springer, obviously. We knew Anthony Santander from the signing earlier this year. Dalton Varsho, defensive wizard. His bat has been amazing this season. Vladdy, of course, with his extension. Nobody expected Alejandro Kirk to be as good defensively and be that good of a bat as he was this season. These are the number 1 and 2 teams. I think the consensus pretty much agrees with that. And most people, I think, had the Blue Jays tonight winning this game. And I had no reason to fault them, even though I was hoping every bit of my body they were wrong. And thank God they were wrong. The Mariners came out and they won this game. It was the exact opposite of Game 5 of the ALDS versus the Tigers. It was, if this game was, okay, let's put it this way. If this game was tied, it probably would have been the same thing. It was no offense. It was quiet. But the reason why it was the exact opposite is because I looked at the time and it felt like it was only an hour went by and we were already in the bottom of the 7th inning. It was so quick. Pitching was so efficient on both sides. Gausman, lights out. Great day. Could you have left him in there a little bit longer? Sure. But he was down. So why not reserve him for game 4 or game 3 if you're desperate? I believe they took him out with like 70 some odd pitches. I could double check that. But it was a great performance by Gausman. He was locating. The strike zone was a bit big today for both sides. I was getting pretty upset with the umpires because that is just want to make sure everything is good here on my end. So Gausman did a really good job. Little came in, kind of allowed the Mariners to blow the doors open, getting a couple